Hey everyone, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this particular video we will have a look at the changes that have been made to Iceman from the 14th of February test centre. Now, with no pun intended, or who am I kidding, pun intended, it actually looks pretty cool now, so this should be a nice interesting video. He does have quite a few skills that have been changed up a bit, and it looks like he's got some nice new build options as well. Oh, and I should mention, probably one of the most important things, he's got a new primary resource, so we'll no longer be spirit starved on him, which is fantastic. So let's look at the first tree, and that would be freezing beams, which is his range side of things. Now before we look at these skills, we'll actually look down the bottom right here, and we can see his fancy new resource, Ice Armour. The UI for that really does look pretty nice. They're getting good at this, although it makes the health one look a bit basic really, so maybe need to do something with that. But let's start off with the Chill Blade skill. That says basic range chill skill. Now with basics you obviously won't be using them to save spirit, so what happens is this one actually restores ice armour, and we'll cover ice armour in more detail once we get to the talents and traits section. This one will also do chill, and it says each hit slows movement and attack speed by 40% for 6 seconds. And then we have the standard dash, which is snowplow, 4-second cooldown and 3 charges. We follow that up with ice beam, which is your ranged chill area, and it's also a channel, so it's hitting 4 times per second, and this is buffed by attack speed as well there. And then we have ice slack, which is your vulnerability and dot there, and also with this it says deep freeze, freeze enemies for 2 seconds, increase to 4 seconds if the enemy is chilled, and this will restore ice armour as well. Now it's actually had a new animation, so I'll quickly show this off. There we go there, that's pretty nice, that one. Now for the next skill we'll look at Icicles. So this is our range spender here. So with this the damage bonus is plus 25% for 5 seconds after you shatter an enemy. And then we have Snowblower, which is an area movement channeled chill skill. Again, it's doing damage 4 times per second, also has chill in it, as we can see there. For the kind of shatter side of things that we mentioned a moment ago with Icicles, we have Flash Freeze. So what this will do, if you're using summons, it also directs all the summons to attack the particular target, does energy damage, does vulnerability where enemies take 200% extra damage from the next shatter power that you use on them, and this will also restore ice armour as well there. And then we finish up with the signature, which is absolute zero. So you've got your energy damage dot, which is going off, your invulnerability, and it's restoring your ice armour as well there. So that's all interesting enough. It's really when we get to the talents and traits that things have changed a lot, but let's look at the next tree. This is a melee and summon side of things, and this is Chilling Constructs. The first skill we look at in this tree is actually our first shatter skill. So this is Frozen Lands, and this would work with your Icicles for the damage bonus after you shatter, and also Flash Freeze as well there. So Frozen Lance, with this you're doing energy damage, 6-second cooldown, and it deals a set amount of damage, additional energy damage against frozen enemies consuming the effect. That's your range shatter. We follow that up with Arctic Wave, which is your melee shatter skill there, also has area tag. And then we have the summon, which is the Ice Golem. Now previously they came in 2 flavours, you had the ranged and melee, now you only have melee summon, so just to make you aware of that. And then we have Ice Block, so invulnerability, 1.5 seconds, looks like it may be affected by power duration for all the difference that would make. You can maybe pull it up to around about 2 seconds there. And you've also got Health Restore, and it restores your armour, 30-second cooldown on that. And then we have Work of Art, which is your nice summon skill. It used to be his signature on the first ever test centre iteration of Iceman, and then they changed it to, of course, Absolute Zero, but that was originally his signature for anyone that wasn't on the test centre. A little bit of trivia for you there. And then we have Frozen Orb. Now this has changed from a spammable attack to one with max charges. The reason for that is that we've been told that it was just simply the visual effects of it was putting too much strain on the system, so they've moved that to charges there. But there are some talents that change it up a bit more that will hopefully take the sting out of that if anyone did like using that as a primary skill. But the next skill we have is Glacial Wall here, and this will stop enemy projectiles and blocks enemy pathing as well. So with the harder content, skills such as this certainly can be useful to kind of block off enemies and just burn them down. I do like them, it's just whether or not you have the space for it. The final skill we look at before the talents and traits is Glacial Slam. So you've got your energy damage, it's also doing your weaken as well there, and it's a melee area, and it also has a movement tag as well. So that was all interesting enough. Let's now have a look at these talents and traits, and this is where things really do mix up quite a lot. So with this section we'll start off by looking at the actual offensive and defensive traits, then we'll work on to the talents. So the offensive trait is Ice Mutation. You have 15% bonus to chilled enemies, and the archetype is Adept, so that's durability and energy. For the defensive trait we have Ice Armour, so 3% deflect chance. Archetype is Tough, giving a bonus multiplier to defense and also deflect. And then we have the really big change of this test centre iteration for him. We have Sub-Zero as primary resource as Ice Armour. So this is automatically restored when out of combat, and Ice Armour negates 60% of all incoming damage and absorbs the rest. And then you'll see he's also got the Chill, Deep Freeze and Shatter built into his kit as well there. Talent wise, we start off with Focused Beams, so when you shatter an enemy, Ice Beam damage goes up along with Chill Blade and also Ice Close as well. And then we have Ice Crafted Weapons. Now if we click this, we'll notice this skill's changed, and so is this one here. So we can see that. So you get a damage reduction of 8% for going melee, and as we just noticed, Chill Blade transforms into Frozen Blades. It's a melee attack, and Ice Coast transforms into Icy Arsenal. So let's just show the tooltips there on them. There we go, see them there. And the next talent we have is Follow My Lead, so this is for your summoners. It's base damage 15% for summon powers, and you gain a 5% chance when you hit to summon an Iceman clone. And you can see the health and damage reduction they're doing there, as well as the duration as well. Talent line 2, we have Chilled to the Bone. So with this, Chill Slow Potency goes up by 50%, Deep Freeze Stun Duration goes up by 50%, and Ice Beam gains the following effects. So channel for 1.5 seconds causes Deep Freeze. That could be really quite interesting for a build to try and lock down enemies. It's something that I think I will try out anyway. I don't know if I'll maybe end up sticking with it, but it would be an interesting build to give a little play around with a night or two. The next talent is now Frostbite, so Chill powers apply Frostbite, and Chill power damage goes up by 5%, and you've got a dot there for 6 seconds as well, so you could just hit them and then move on. And then we have Golem Mastery, so we're back to summons again here. It's base damage 15% for summon powers, and Ice Golem summons 2 additional golems, and those golems will automatically join you in combat. So you would have up to 3 in total if you use that. Talent line 3, we've got Crushing Cold, so Glacial Slam transforms into Hail Drop. It's a high damage range skill that shatters, and when you use Arctic Wave, a large ranged hail shard will pierce enemies in front of you. Let's show those off. So we've got, let's see, Glacial Slam, and there's Arctic Wave. There we go. That's a big snowball, that one. And you've got that nice visual effects from that as well there. So next up, talent wise, we have Frost Nova. So Flash Freeze transforms into Frost Nova. Frost Nova is a wide range melee attack which resets its cooldown when you shatter an enemy. There it is there. Pretty nice looking really, that one. And then we have Blizzard, so Frozen Orb gains bonus damage as if it were a summon power, and the orb will now spawn at the targeted enemy and remain there for 6 seconds. Let's show this off. This is quite interesting, I like this. for the 4th talent line, we start off with Avalanche. So with this, Glacial Slam gains the following effects. Its ice armour cost is 100%, but you gain a damage bonus based on how much ice armour you actually spend. So that could be interesting for stacking ice armour, seeing how high you can actually hit with this skill if you do that. So yeah, I think I'll maybe be playing around in Test Centre, putting some, I was going to say spirit gear, but I should call it ice armour gear on them, see how high I can get it and see how hard they can hit. But next up we have Empowered Minions. So with this, when you use your signature, you will increase the damage of your ice golems, and you also summon 2 Iceman clones. And then we have Icebreaker. So with this, Shatter effect damage and Shatter power damage both go up, and the cooldown of Arctic Wave and Frozen Lands come down by 2 seconds, and when you shatter an enemy, it pulls down your signature cooldown by 1 second as well there. So 5th and final talent line, we start off with Chilling Constructs. With this, Work of Art and Glacial Wall trigger a free ice slick at their spawn locations. And then we have Last Ditch Defences. So Ice Block automatically activates when you fall below 30% health. The cooldown comes down by 5 seconds, you'll gain health, defense rating multiplier, and also your maximum ice armour goes up, so that would be good for going for a nice tanky build there, a melee build. Final talent we look at here is Renewing Cold. So Ice Slick becomes a melee attack, Ice Slick damage goes up, cooldown comes down, and when you stand in Ice Slick's area of effect, you'll regenerate health and also armour there. So that's pretty interesting. So I do like the changes. There's an absolute ton of build options now available, and I'm going to go away and play about and see what I can come up with. So let me know in the comments below if there's any build you're thinking on playing after seeing this particular video, and I should see you all later on this evening, because I plan on having a quick run through of chapters 4, because that's partially finished, chapter 7 and chapter 8, just showing off some of the new lovely artwork for them. So thanks for tuning in, and see you all again soon.